Oh, good morning, my Teaserking family. What is it doing? So, how's everybody today? We will talk little comex. We will talk football. We got week 18. I got to add a game, and I just kind of got a feel. Just 1 second. All right. So, what's happening? We got football today. We'll start with just a little recap on our gold and silver, as important as it is. And then we will get into our football. So yesterday, the fake Ponzi scheme Comex has gold at 43.32 and silver at 72.82, which is the biggest joke we've ever seen. Why am I even talking about Comex? It's not real. It's paper, options and derivatives. It's a Ponzi scheme. So I think I'm talking about it just so we understand what's really going on. Anything run by banks is a Ponzi scheme, pretty much. They fuck everybody over. As we watched an Attack on Wall Street, and I could play that. The Home Alone guy is talking to the Attack on Wall Street guy, and he says, "Well, you sold me this fund for price for houses, the real estate trust." He says, "Well, we just sell it for the commissions. Basically, we're trying to fuck you over. We don't care if the house has value or not. If everything goes well, then you get your money and we make our commissions. And if it doesn't, we just fuck you and we delete the real estate trust. We delete the contract." That's how banks work. If everything goes well, they make money off of you. If it doesn't go well, they delete it and say, "Oops, we don't know what happened. Gosh darn it, you took a risk and you lost." Well, there's a difference between betting a football game, at least the game's played. Now, is it honest? We don't know, but we'd like to think so. We like to think the Seattle Frisco game's an honest game tonight because they both are playing for the 1 seed. So from that standpoint, we like it. Otherwise, what else can we say about it? For my people, I just added the Tampa Carolina game. I just had an impulse. So I like going with my impulses. So the problem with banks is they are the ones running the government and nobody checks them, so they can do whatever they want. Just like football, they cheat in the games. The players sit out, whatever. It's a joke. So this is what you got to worry about when the people who make the rules are in power and they're the banks and they can fuck you any way you want. Do you really want to play with them? No, you don't. So that's reason number 75 why we want gold and silver physical. We want this because we don't want to play with cheaters. We don't want to play with the banks. because they're cheap, right? Well, you took a risk and lost. No, I didn't take a risk and loss. You deleted the real estate trust. I didn't lose. You cheated. You took it down. There's one thing if it's a fair risk. It's another thing when you're cheating on me. That's not fair. So why do you want to play with cheats? Is the question. And all these this whole thing is a Ponzi scheme. Everything the bank does, all Wall Street is a Ponzi scheme. They take your money and say, thank you very much. They put you in the stupidest investments like stocks and real estate trust in the middle of, like, I was reading Fisher Investments or any of these, and, get into the stock market or any retirement plan. If you listen on the radio, they want to put you in stocks. They're totally clueless that we have a $39 trillion debt and or what it means. And they're totally clueless to get you that you're not going to lose all your money when the stock market crashes. Oh, well, one guy, it's crashed before, it'll come back. No, you're clueless. It's not coming back this time. This time it's gone. This time your economy is gone. Your $38 trillion debt is killing everything. You have Trump and these idiots. They don't know what they're doing. Now they're going after silver. They're saying you can't have silver, Apple and Microsoft and whoever else. It has to go to the defense, because who's running the government? The defense contractors. And they're out of silver because they're idiots and didn't understand what was going on for 10 years, that it was price fixed and it was just a paper game. And now they're going, oh shit, there's no more supply. So you need to steal it from the companies that were prudent and bought it. What is this? This is the biggest crime in the world here. Oh, no, it's got to go to the defense. Why? We're not at war. The only wars we're at is because you idiots are trying to fight Russia and you're with Israel and I don't know what, Venezuela. None of these are wars. Why are we at war? Oh, because we're broke and we need money and we're trying to sell defense contractor stuff. Why are we broke? Because George Soros has shorted the US dollar and wants to make a lot of money when we go down, and he's the one in charge. So if you're letting this idiot in charge, be in charge, and he's trying to sink your dollar, what are you going to do? Take away the electronics market? But we can't make phones or computers anymore because we need the silver for the Tomahawk missiles. And some Mr. Fuji said it was 50. No, it's 500 ounces into a Tomahawk missile, not 50. Idiots. Hey, Prophet, good morning. So Trump just invaded Venezuela. Is it for the oil reserves or something else here? Yeah, it's the oil and the gold. Problem is Russia and China also have their foot there. And I don't know that he invaded it, but it's not going to be, we don't have any troops, basically. We have like 20,000 troops. So I don't know what are the CIA's now, the army. It's just for their oil and it's for the gold that they have there. And that's about it. But Russia and China doesn't like that. Trump's basically making Hitler look like a Boy Scout because he's going to all these countries to get their oil and gold because we're broke. That's why every one of these wars is where, look at Iran, oil, Ukraine, oil, diamonds, all these, Venezuela, oil, gold. So he's picking very prudently who he's doing after they did Libya and Saddam Hussein and Gaddafi. Those were about gold. They were trying to get a gold-backed currency. He didn't like it. So he took them out and he stole all the gold. Now, people think we still have the gold. We never kept the gold. That's our problem. We're too stupid. We didn't understand gold. How do you not understand it? It's very simple. So understand every war is about money. And if you're broke, which the U.S. is, what do? You go and you get, you invade a country to steal their assets. And in this case, it's oil and gold. That's why we're there, but so is Russia and China. And they're there for their oil and gold. So you're going to have a problem with Putin. The funny part with Putin, not funny, but so they shot 91 drones into his house. or near his house, right? So they know where he lives. He hasn't been there in 3 years because he lives in the Kremlin. So, well, great intelligence. Yeah, well, shoot a house that there's nobody living in, or maybe his family. I don't know. They're probably in the Kremlin too. So that's what we have. We have this thing where we have been mismanaged. Obama, Trump, Biden, all these idiots are run by George Soros. Biden gave George Soros a medal. Obama was in bed with George Soros. George Soros has been running America into the ground because we beat Germany in World War II. He's still upset about it. So this is what you have. You have idiots. You have idiots in charge who have their own self-interest. And this is the problem with the government. It's extremely corrupt. Like every government in the world is run by George Soros, except for the Russians and the Chinese, which is why he's invading them. It's all bullshit, right? So we really can't do anything about that. The only thing we can do is this. This is the way to freedom and peace and understanding. And nobody from the government's going to knock on your door saying, I want your silver at gunpoint. It's not going to happen. People who say that just show how stupid they are. They don't think there's enough of us out there that we have any gold and silver at all. So therefore, they'll go after the crypto. They'll go after the ETF gold and silver, but before they come after us. And they don't even know we exist, and not that we're going to let them in the house anyway. It's like, so this is the way to our freedom is this. And that's why we try telling other people, hey, you better buy gold and silver. And they laugh. And I go, well, okay. Guess what? Don't ask me when you just laughed at me when you need gold and silver because the dollar is worthless. Don't come calling to me. Profit, is Venezuela allied with Russia? Yeah, and China. Absolutely. They're communist. Hey, let's see. John C. I don't know what the Y6. Maybe I'll call you Y6 or John C. John C. Hey, John C. Good morning. I hope you're well. Please feel free. Questions, comments. That's why we do it live, because we got balls, and we're more than happy to say the truth and answer your questions truthfully. Unlike Mr. Fuji, the AI guy, who you don't even know who the hell's talking, and we don't know his background, and he's on both sides of the fence, and he can't explain anything. Anyway, so when we look at this comex, when we look at this abortion called comex, 4332 is a fantasy number. Gold's much higher than that because you're suppressing it. Well, anytime you're keeping the price down, obviously the price is higher, right? Silver 72.82. What the fuck is that? Silver in Japan's $130. Okay, and as I explained last night, you got Korea and you got Vietnam or whatever, and who knows what we got in Singapore with Pat. We got different prices on it based on the market, and you're going to have different markets, like in art. If you ever try selling a painting, you're going to look at what one sold, and that was in that market, and there's another market, and there's another buyer, and they're all independent buyers. They kind of go like, if you have like my Van Gogh over here, this one here, like this one, this is a poster. This is €5. But if you had the real one, there'd be several markets because there's several buyers for, Joe bought one for $1 million, Phil's buying one for 800,000, and Bob's looking at yours and he wants to have it. So there's multiple markets. There's been one market for gold, which has been a joke. But I think nobody said anything because they were keeping the price down. And so everybody's accumulating. China, Russia, India, they're all going, this is great. I can get silver for $72. In the reality, it's 130 in Japan. That's the Ponzi scheme. You can't get it for 72.82. Me and you can't even go on Comex, but let's say somebody else, a big company wanted to get it. They don't have it. They're out of silver. This whole thing is a joke. And what'll happen is like going to a store, as I explained, we own an ice cream store and you come in and we don't have any ice cream. How many customers are we going to have? Well, they'll show up the first time and then you'll say, I'm out of this, I'm out of that, no chocolate, no vanilla. They won't come back. They'll go, we're going to go to this ice cream store over here. They have inventory. They're going to come to Comex for this. They don't have any. So they're going to go to China and Russia and India for the physical. So you're walking into a closed door. So this 72.82 not only doesn't exist, they don't have any physical. So why are you there? We're there to short our contract. Why would you short it? The silver miners, well, I got it in at 100, but I'm going to short it at 72.82 in case the price drops. Why would the price drop? If you guys weren't so stupid, the miners, the price would never drop. You do it like any other store. Hey, there's a high demand for silver. I'm making it $150, $150 an ounce. You don't like it? Fuck off. Go buy it from Comex, except they don't have any. So that's what ends up happening. You go to the store, there isn't any, you don't go to the store anymore. And that's what Comex is going to be. Nobody goes into this. They go into it to buy physical. That's why you go to Comex. You don't go into Comex. Maybe you short it, but those only idiots who do that. These are people that are miners who have no idea what they're doing. It's amazing how stupid people are. Well, in case the risk, in case the price goes down, the price doesn't go down in the market. It only goes down on Comex. So get the fuck out of Comex. Stop using Comex as the physical price because it doesn't exist. They don't have the physical. They're selling contracts. What good's a contract? Oh, I like to get my contract. Oh, yeah, well, we don't really have the gold or silver. That's the Ponzi scheme. So understand that. So when we look at 72.82, we look at 130 in Japan, 130 is more the price than the 72. 72 is a joke, and Comex will be shut down soon. I can't say the date. I don't know, but it's like, again, how many people are going to go? It's like going to Vegas. At what point does Caesar's Palace close its store because they're bankrupt? They're bankrupt now, but they're still open, but they can't keep paying the bills if there's nobody there no customers shopping. Two big games today. Yes, John C. We'll talk about them in a minute. I'd just like to start with a little bit of this economics. As we know, I'm just trying to call the bullshit out. This is bullshit. Wouldn't worry about it. Get an eye on the physical market. We know it's very limited supply to start with. We know the demand's huge because all these people need it in the U.S. I don't know. But I assume is Apple and these companies that need it, Tesla would just move to China and use the silver from there as opposed to staying in the U.S. So you're going to kick all the companies out who need silver. They'll just move out. And then the defense contractors won't have any silver to make their little bombs with. Oh, poor babies. In wars we shouldn't be in. All right. Enough said. So let's look at football. So we start off, as John C. is saying, we got two games today. So let's look at two games today. We got Carolina going to Tampa. We got Tampa 3-44. Baker Mayfield dealing with shoulder and knee injuries. Well, we know that. It's his right shoulder. They don't say that, but it is. Baker's been playing bad. They're both under teams now. Carolina doesn't score much. Steve Young stinks. Tampa Bay, they've missed Evans and Godwin, and then Baker's hurt, so they've missed all that, so they're in trouble. I got Tampa Bay 3. Play against Tampa's 13-3 in a teaser this year. A lot of it's their offense. The Baker's, I'm sure, very injured, but he's stubborn and he'll play. I think they could win the game. I think it'll be a tight game, number one. So you could tease the dog, but do we trust Steve Young? I don't really trust Steve Young. He's he's one of these. This is the new football. Oh, my quarterback can run for 10 yards. I don't use my receivers and my running backs. I'm going to let my quarterback run around and gain 10 yards. Yeah, I've joined the idiot club. I mean, it doesn't work. It's never worked, and it won't work now. It's stupid. You've got to throw to your receivers, and you got to run the ball with the running backs. This whole bullshit of these running quarterbacks is a joke. I also think it'll be low scoring. Both teams don't score a lot. They're under teams, and they play lower scoring games. They play games in the 20s. I think under 50 is probably the best way to play the total. Just, okay, Carolina did beat the Rams 31-28. That was a fluke. You had some interceptions by Stafford and then touchdowns from Stafford. How Carolina scored 31 was, I assume, on the interceptions. And then you look and they lost to New Orleans 20-17. They beat Tampa 23-20 2 weeks ago in Carolina. I see Carolina choking badly because they've never been here before. I don't know who the coach is, and you're not relying on Steve Young to win a game for you. So I don't know if Carolina can handle the pressure. This is winning you're in. Tampa with the Baker, I think, finds a way to win the game, a close one and a low-scoring one. We'll go with that. So that's at 4:30 on ABC. They're actually on TV. How about that? Imagine football being on regular TV so people can watch it, not on ESPN, Peacock, Paramount, and the NFL Network where nobody's going to pay and nobody watches it. It's just ridiculous. The 8 o'clock game, Seattle goes to San Francisco. Seattle's now 2.5, 47.5. Why did Seattle jump from 1 to 2.5? Let's see. Was there some injury? Let's see. Both teams on 6 game. What do you say? It doesn't really get into. Can Darnold get redemption? Absolutely not. We'll have to let's see what the injury news. TJ Watt is playing. Josh Allen is good to go. Very good. I was a little worried Josh Allen with the ankle, but he's going to play. So I am adding a Buffalo play. So I think Pitt and Baltimore, I think it'll be a pretty tight game when we get to that one. And Lamar's terrible. So if they had DK Metcalf, Pittsburgh would be a lock getting 10.5. Without him, I think they'll find other means, Gainwell, Snackwell, whatever. Let's see. So let me get to Devontae Adams and Kyron Williams questionable for the Ram game. They're going to kill them because they can't keep going. Raiders ruled Geno Smith out in Week 18 against the Chefs. So they were going to go with, I guess, Pickett. Yeah, reportedly play a combination of Pickett and Aiden O'Connell. O'Connell. We want to see how bad he is. We really don't know. He sucked at Purdue, but maybe he got better in the pros. I love that. If the guy stinks in college, he stinks. Eagles rule out Jalen Carter, Nakobe Dean, Dallas Goedert, and Lane Johnson against the Commanders. And I don't believe that Jalen Hurts is playing. So that makes you think maybe it's an over game. But Washington's playing Johnson. Oh, yeah, Hurts is out too. So they're going with Keegan or whatever. Chargers roll out Omari Hampton in Week 18, and they've already benched Herbert. Interesting. This is like college where these guys aren't playing. They don't want to get hurt. Running back Hassan Haskins and Vidal are also questionable after being limited in practice, so they might not play. So San Diego's really laying down here. I think it's a big mistake because you can't just lose and then go, oh, no, we'll flip a switch and we'll get better. So look for San Diego to lose the first round of the playoffs. Cowboys rule out Javonte Williams and Malik Davis. Cares. Marvin Harrison Jr., adversity worn sophomore season, will end in IR. Well, he sucks anyway. He caught a whopping 41 out of 73. 73 targets, 41 catches for a whopping 600 yards. Now, this wouldn't be bad for your third receiver that you got out of the Army or something. But when you draft a guy number 2 or 3 out of Ohio State, yeah, you're probably expecting Jamar Chase numbers. That's why you don't draft receivers high up in it. Tyler Higbee activated off of IR. That's good news. Bears Romo Doozy questionable for Week 18. JJ McCarthy. Why is he starting? He sucks. Why is he in the league? And how the fuck did you draft him in the first round? Are you kidding me? He'll start against the Packers. Kevin O'Connell, he needs to be fired, huh? He lets rid of Darnold and he keeps JJ McCarthy, a guy who seriously doesn't have any clue on how to read on how to read talent, right? He can't do it. Harold Fannin and David Knight, Njoku and Carson Schwetzner ruled out against Bengals. Oh, we love the Bengals. But we noticed that Joe Burrow's playing and Chase. That's two different teams. Colt Sauce Gardner and Will Mallory out for Sunday's game against Houston. Lions, Ahmad St. Brown expected to go. Penny Sewell ruled out. Oh, they're big linemen. So now the Lions have no line. Go Bears, go. I loved the Bears before. I love them even more now. I might have to play them in 3 teasers. Ravens, Lamar Jackson is a full week of practice, set to go. Oh, I can't wait because he's such a good quarterback. Commanders, Marcus Mariota out against Eagles. Josh Johnson making his set. What is Josh Johnson doing there? What is wrong with this league? It's so fucked up. I still don't see my Niners. Here you go. 49ers, Trent Williams, George Kittle, and Ricky Pearsall questionable on Saturday against the Seahawks. I would bet if they're questionable, they're all playing. It's for the 1 seed. They're playing. So why would the line go down? Williams is dealing with the hamstring. Kittle missed the Bear game with an ankle. This is for the 1 seed. Everybody plays if you can walk. So I can't explain why the line dropped except for probably analytics or some stupid thing like that. So let's return. So there's no reason this line jumped from 1 to 2.5. These guys were injured, and they'll probably play because they're questionable. So we got Seattle 2.5, 47.5. I love the game over. They're both A teams where Carolina and Tampa are under teams. They don't score. All right. So we'll go under or we'll tease the dog, but we can't trust the dog in this case. But maybe if you want Carolina. Here, San Francisco with very live dog getting 8.5 and the total of 47.5. Weather's fine is over 41.5. I think it's better than going under. Seattle does have a good defense, but so did the Bears, and the Niners put up 100 points on them. So again, Seattle played the Rams. It was an 80-point game. So that kind of gives you, and yet they have a 14 defense. Well, the 5 teams they played, let's see, were probably not very good. The Eagles are sitting the starters, and apparently Washington's going with Johnson. So, yeah. Who you got winning it all? Well, I think the best team's the Rams. And Denver, I think, are the 2 best teams. Houston with the live dog, with the live defense. So I would say Denver and that. You have no Mahomes. Hopefully Pitt wins because we don't want to see Lamar. Lamar won't do anything anyway. Josh Allen, he doesn't play defense. So I think Denver and Houston. Houston's already beat Buffalo. I don't know if Denver played them. I think those 2, and then I think the 2 in the NFC would be the Rams, and let's say whoever wins this Seattle Niner game would be the 2. The Eagles, too many problems with Jalen Hurts and the coach. Chicago, a good team, but you're not winning with Caleb. At the end of the day, Caleb sucks, and he wants to run, and Ben Johnson, okay, he's playing well, but or he's coaching well, I guess. Not sure. So let's look at Seattle. All right, Seattle last 5 beat Carolina 27-10. Carolina without an offense and without a quarterback. They play a 38-37 with the Rams on the biggest bullshit 2-point conversion call I've ever seen in my life. He threw a pass that was incomplete. End of story. You don't give them the 2 points. They didn't earn the 2 points. They didn't catch the ball and get over the goal line. It was deflected because it was incomplete. And the guy picks it up in the end zone. It's an incomplete pass. It's not, they didn't earn it. You can't give them the 2 points. It's bullshit. It's like pass interference. You don't give them the touchdown, you give them the ball at the 1. That's what should have happened here. There's no way that is a successful 2-point conversion on an incomplete pass. Sorry. Then they played Indy 18-16 with Phillip Rivers. They beat Atlanta 37-9 and Minnesota 26-0. So of the teams they played, none of them were any good but the Rams. Carolina, no offense. Indy, Phillip Rivers. Atlanta, Kirk Cousins. And Minnesota, J.J. McCarthy. So if you look at Seattle, they didn't do anything. The one team with the quarterback, they played a 38-37 game. The Niners beat Carolina 20-9, then the Browns 26-8, Tennessee 37-24, 48 on Indy, and 42 on the Bears. So they're putting up a ton of points, and Indy's got a pretty decent defense. The Bears are not bad. Tennessee sucks. Cleveland does have a good defense. They have no quarterback. And Carolina has a pretty good defense. They scored 20 on. So I look at the last 3. You scored 37, 48, and 42. So you're going to probably get a bit of points here. I don't think Seattle, who gave up the 37 to the Rams, and then who did they play, right? So this is why you got to look at last 5. This is the key to it because it says, oh, they played J.J. McCarthy and Cousins and Phillip Rivers and then Steve Young last week. So no good quarterbacks except for the Rams. So that's where the stats get skewed. And you look at the stats and you go, oh, they're a 14 defense. If they were playing a weak offense, I would go with it, but not against this Frisco offense. And the way Purdy's playing McCaffrey, they don't need Kittle. They're fine with or without him. The tackle, okay, but they have backup tackle. They still scored 42 on the Bears with the offensive tackle got hurt in the like the first on the pick six in the beginning of the game. So they played with the backup and they got 42 points on the Bears. The games in Frisco, you got to give credit to that. They don't have to travel. I know it's not a big trip from Seattle, but still you're getting on a plane and jet lag. So that's how you break it down. So you look at this and you go, okay, I mean, this will get points. Seattle, 37 on Atlanta, 26 on Minnie. Now, Minnie, we know, has a good defense. 38 on the Rams with a good defense, and 27 on Carolina, not a bad defense. So Seattle's going to score. Now, we know Darnold's going to choke. So we can't take Seattle plus 3.5. We got to go either 49ers at 8.5 or the total of 47. We can go over 41. I wouldn't want to play it under after the Bears game and after the Rams game with the Seattle Rams and the Bears and the Niners. I wouldn't want to be betting this game under. Let's check the weather. And the weather is going to be 53 and rain with 8-mile-an-hour winds. Is that why the under is going down? Because of the rain? Well, the rain is really not a factor in a total because the offense knows where they're going and the defense doesn't. All these little crossing routes. The quarterback will be able to throw the ball just fine, a wet ball. They'll wear gloves or whatever. The receivers can catch it, and they know where they're going. If anything, this makes it an over game, not an under game. Only wind. Well, this is 8-mile-an-hour wind. So the wind, let's go into the quarters. So if I go down here it is, kickoff 52, 7-mile-an-hour winds, likely rain showers. But even here it says rain showers, cloudy with a low around 50. Winds 10 to 16 with gusts. Yeah, well, there's always wind and there's always gusts. Chance of rain 90%. New rainfall amounts between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch possible, which is nothing. I mean, that's 20 minutes. Second quarter 51 and 8, likely rain. Third quarter 51 and 8, likely rain. And then the fourth quarter 50 and 7, but the precipitation probability is only 55%. So it's one of these, it's going to rain, chance of rain, but maybe not. So that's what we have for this game. So I'm ignoring the weather being an issue here. It's not real windy. That's what knocks the balls down. The rain doesn't really, you can still throw 30-yard passes into the rain. And most of these are not real long pass, especially the Niners. Oh, yeah, and by the way, they're going to run McCaffrey and Purdy, which the rain helps them because they can make a cut. The defender can fall more than anything. So the only time I've been hurt in a rain is when it's a hurricane. Notre Dame was playing North Carolina State on a Saturday, and there was a hurricane, so it was raining, but it was like 40-mile-an-hour winds, and the game was 6-3. And both teams had really strong offenses, but it was the wind that you couldn't throw the ball. You don't have that here. All right, so I think the Niners are a very live dog here, and I think the over is very, very live. I wouldn't bet it under because of the rain. You still got to look at the players, right? You still got to play the game. And with Purdy and McCaffrey, I think McCaffrey has a big game. Seattle, they've been running Charbonneau a lot. from Michigan. Well, he went to Michigan. They didn't play him. I guess they didn't think he was any good. And then he transferred to, I think, USC or UCLA, and he was very good there. All right. So those are the two games. I think the first game's a lower scoring game, but I don't have the balls to bet on Steve Young. Not going to happen. And then it's really not a prudent play to bet on him. And then Seattle, and he did nothing at Alabama, so why would you think he'd do something here? Seattle and Frisco, it's a game for win the division, win the 1 seed. I think it's a definitely live dog play, and I think you go over in the game is, I think, the only way to play the total. Under 53, yeah, once they get rolling, you're going to go by that. So if we look at, well, what does 47 down to 41 mean? Oh, 22 to 20, and you got a winner. 22 to 20 is a winner in the total. Obviously in teasers, we're in teaser world, which is a fucking joke. I mean, seriously, they're not going to get into the 20s, both teams. Really? Okay. So that's how I view that. All right, let's go to tomorrow. We start with what they changed my they changed my order around. Atlanta and New Orleans. We've got New Orleans 3.5, 44. New Orleans is playing good. They're a B team. They're like they're 6-10 now. They're getting better, but they played a lot of shit teams. Although they did beat Carolina twice. Atlanta, an over team with the 27 defense. Kirk Cousins, who sucks, against Tyler Shaw, who maybe he's okay. I don't know. He wants to run too. So he's not that good of a quarterback, but we'll see. I think this will be a close game. It's a rivalry game. They did beat Carolina twice. So New Orleans is not like the Jets or the Giants. Shaw against Cousins. Play against Road Dog New Orleans 10-2. Play against Atlanta as a home favorite 9-1. So it's a play against game. I'm not touching this game. I think I would take New Orleans as a live dog in the game. Getting 9.5 the way they're playing. Atlanta, I do not trust Kirk Cousins as far as I could throw him. Cincinnati, Cleveland. Cincinnati is 7.5, 44.5. Cleveland, a W team, and Fannon's not playing. A bunch of players aren't playing, and then they've got Myles Garrett looking for the record, and once he gets it, he won't play. I don't know how many sacks he needs, a couple. Cleveland, a W team with the 24 defense. Prime Jr., who sucks. Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, a B team with the 23 defense. So the defense getting better because Joe Burrow's holding the ball longer. They're going on 7-8 minute drives, and then he tosses it to Chase, touchdown. So Burrow much better than Prime Jr. Play against Road Dog Cleveland 12-2. 6-1 this year. Since he doesn't really have a good trend because Burrow's in, Burrow's out. Now we get Burrow in, and they're starting to light up teams. I don't know what'll happen in Cincy. Burrow's getting fed up with the lack of ownership, the lack of defense, the shitty coaches. Zach Taylor should not be coached. You got Joe Burrow. You should win almost every game. Do you not understand that? And you can't do it with Joe Burrow? I don't get it. He just doesn't understand the coach. He's not a good coach for Joe Burrow. I'd rather have him get the LSU coach back. All right. Green Bay and Minnesota. What the fuck? Minnesota's up to 9.5 and 37. I'm not sure who's quarterbacking here. Willis, I think, is supposed to against JJ McCarthy. And if you think I'm betting Minnesota because JJ McCarthy's playing, out of your fucking minds. Minnesota, an under team, 15 defense. Green Bay, an over team with the 28. Let's see if we get help here. Jordan Love has cleared protocol, but he's not playing. McCarthy with the hand will start. Oh boy, when did he get good? Vikings reveal starting, breaking down Packers final injury report. Let's see on the Packers. Now, I thought what I read was Malik Willis and Zach Tom as questionable, and Dante Wicks is doubtful, ruled out guard. I believe that Willis, with the right shoulder and hamstring, is dealing with a pair of. It's possible the Packers could make him the backup behind Clayton Tune. By the spread going to 9.5, it's not going to 9.5 because of McCarthy. It's probably going there because of Clayton Tune. But it's more likely that Willis is only available in an emergency situation. He needs to be healthy. Should an injury happen to Jordan Love? So it looks like we're going to go with Tune. And Tune would make sense of why the spread jumped to 9.5. Tune sucks. So if we use this to our advantage, the play turns into an under, not the 9.5. We can't trust McCarthy. Green Bay, an over team with a weak defense. Well, McCarthy sucks. But with Tune in there, are we going to get any offense? I don't know. The way Green Bay, Willis looked like he was better than Love when he played. So if they're going to rest Willis because they're in the playoffs, they go with Tune. I look for Minnesota to shut him out, basically. I don't know. Maybe this guy's a good offensive coach and he can get some points for Green Bay, but I think Minnesota will shut him out, 25 to nothing, 26 to nothing, something like that. So I think this is an underplay, 37.5, go under 43. Because I don't have a quarterback for Green Bay, and they don't really care, and they're mailing it in because of that. How much of their defense is going to play, I don't know. Minnesota, they'll play. They'll try to get a shutout here, and J.J. McCarthy's, he just stinks. So I can't lay 3.5 with J.J. McCarthy. Never going to happen. So I think prudent is the under because of I got a great defense in Minnesota. I got no quarterback at Green Bay. John C. TK, who you got? Okay. They have Mendoza as the number pick, the rankings. Do you agree? No, I have Dagiopava as the best quarterback. The number one picks probably this kid out of Miami, the defensive tackle, or one of the five out of Texas Tech. I think those are the best players. Mendoza's okay, not a superstar. Pavia is very good. So it depends. Like if the Raiders are picking, they really should take the defensive guy from Miami, but they'll probably go after the quarterback. But I wouldn't take Mendoza with the number one pick. You got to be kidding. So no, I don't even think he's the best quarterback in the draft, but I do. I would go defensive tackle. You got some studs at Texas Tech and Miami. Ohio State, that linebacker, Sonny Styles. I mean, you got loaded defense. Look what Philadelphia, they won with Jalen Hurts because they had all the Georgia defensive guys. So that's my point right there. Baltimore won with Ray Lewis. Giants won with Lawrence Taylor, not with Phil Simms. You can win with the stud defensive player. You can't win with the shitty quarterback and no defense. That never wins. Prophet, good morning again. There's an interesting pattern concerning the Tampa Bay Carolina game. In Carolina's last 10 games, the pattern is win, lose, win, lose. So we are due for a Carolina win here since they lost last week. Prophet, we don't look at things like that. We understand the team and the matchup. And maybe they win, but it's not because they lost the last week. They're playing Tampa. They might win because Baker Mayfield's injured. But I don't go in for shit like that. I'll play red on roulette if red keeps hitting, and I'll play black on roulette if black keeps hitting. But that kind of pattern in the NFL is meaningless because it's who did they play? Do you think they beat the Rams because they had lost the prior game to San Francisco? Uh, you know, the Rams had won a big game and traveled across country at a 1 o'clock start, and they lost. But it wasn't because they lost to the Niners. They're going to beat the Rams. I don't go in for that. That's not a very good trend. They don't really have a teaser trend. Play against Tampa 13-3 might be why I'd bet Carolina, but I would never bet them for that reason. I like Carolina and Frisco in a teaser today. I mean, the dogs, I don't like Carolina as much because they're not a home dog. Frisco I like because they are a home dog, but as I've been telling you, I like the totals much better. So if we think Malik Willis isn't playing, why JJ McCarthy's playing, I don't know. Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm in the middle of class. What can I do for you?
Just call me when you're done.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. So that's how I would play the games. I'd play totals. I don't trust Steve Young. Frisco, maybe plus 8.5. Maybe you go that way. You get McCafferty, Purdy. Yeah, I mean they're worth betting on. All right. All right. Our next game is Cowboys and the Giants. The Cowboys are 3.5 and 49.5. This was 52. We'll call it 50. Dallas, Dak is playing, but we don't know how long. And the Giants are going with Dart. The Giants E-team 25 defense, Dallas an over team with a 33. I don't know what's going to happen. This is a game you just stay away from. Play against the Giants 27-6 the last 2 years. Not much to say here. It's a meaningless game. Giants probably going for the number 1 pick, want to lose and hope Oakland wins over KC. All right, so not much to be said there. Jacksonville and Tennessee. We've got Jacksonville 13.5 and 47.5. Although I did find some 12.5s, so we'll go with 12.5 and 47.5. In this game, Tennessee's a W team, 27 defense. Cam Ward, who sucks, and Jacksonville an A team with the 16 defense that looks pretty real. They did beat Kansas City and Lawrence, who stinks. Jacksonville's 13-3 in a teaser this year. Play against Tennessee the last 2 years is 28-5. Play against them as a road dog, 6-1. Jacksonville must win. They still have a chance at the 1 seed, and they're still fighting Houston to win the division. So look for Jacksonville to blow out Tennessee here. Houston and Indy, we've got Houston 10.5, 39. You can still get 10s. Indy, a W team with the 29 are starting Riley, the Anvil Leonard, against Houston, a B team with a 17 defense. We know it's the best defense in the league. And CJ Stroud, who still sucks. I mean, that's what'll keep him from winning the Super Bowl, CJ Stroud. He's just not very good, as none of the Ohio State quarterbacks or Alabama quarterbacks are. Indy's 29 defense, Houston should be able to score, and then they're just going to shut down Riley Leonard. This should be a shutout. Love Houston here. Houston, 10-2 is a home favorite, 15-1 this year in a teaser, and 31-4 the last 2 years. So Houston, 15-1 in a teaser, enough said. I would just play Houston, lay the 4, and hope it's not an Oakland game. But I don't think it will be. They'll be playing with fire in their eyes. Then we got The Jets and the Bills. Buffalo was up to 7.5, 37.5. Allen says he's playing. He's not on the injury list, although his foot hurts. So maybe it got better. Maybe he put onions on his foot, right? The Jets, a Z team with the 36 defense, and Steve Cook from the Pro Bowler store will be the starter against Buffalo. B team with the 21 defense, and Josh Allen is a yes. Now, is he a yes for the whole game? We don't know. I would guess if they get up like 28, he'll come out. But, it seems like you probably get him for the first half, or maybe he just starts. I don't know. So be a little careful there. Play against Road Dog, the Jets, 13-1. Play against them overall last 2 years, 29-4. Play against them play against Buffalo as a home favorite, 6-0. This year, play against the Jets, 14-2. Buffalo, 13-2 as a home favorite, 5-1 this year. So the Jets suck on the road, basically. Buffalo, they don't really need the game, but they want to go into the playoffs on a winning note, unlike Philadelphia, who their coach has his head up his ass. Detroit and Chicago, this year free play. Chicago is 350.5. Detroit's an over team with a 31 in golf. Penei Sewell's out. That's a big injury. Chicago, a B team with the 21 defense. Caleb, who sucks. Got a little cold. I'll have to go to the Onion soon, I think. 5-0 is a home favorite, and 14-2 overall this year, the Bears. A nice running attack, enough to keep Caleb from totally screwing up the games with his interceptions and his running. I think Oduzzi will be back. They want this game badly. Detroit beat them 50-20. And Ben Johnson hates Detroit, and he wants to lay it on them. And Detroit's very injured. I don't know. Like St. Thomas is playing. I don't know why. And the running back's playing. I don't know why. Like Detroit's going to go in like, well, let's win. They did it a couple years ago against Green Bay. They were out of it, and Green Bay needed the game to get into the playoffs, and Detroit won. They actually played. So Detroit will play because the coach has his head way up his ass. I don't know. I'm not a Dan Campbell fan. I don't know why people are. Detroit played a little better against a weak schedule. Anytime they played anybody good, they lost. Even when they got to the championship game, they had beaten an okay Ram team and a Tampa Bay team. That's when Philly and Dallas imploded that year. So Philly, so Tampa beat an easy Philly team. And so they won the games at home barely. And then they go to Frisco, and the coach says, hey, let's go for every fourth down because, it's the Niners. They only have one of the top defenses in the league. I'm sure I'm too stupid to understand that. So we'll just go for it on fourth down. And then we lose the game because I'm an idiot. You don't blow 17-point leads at halftime in a championship game. You play the clock. You just keep getting your first downs. You had the mismatch that you wanted, and only an idiot goes for it on fourth downs instead of kicking field goals. I don't care how much, I want to be aggressive. Fuck you. You want to win, don't you? Do you want to win, or do you just want to be aggressive? I think you just want to be aggressive, and you don't care if you win. What an idiot. So anyway, I just love when the Lions lose. So take the Bears. This is your free play. I got 41-20, the Bears. They're going to kill them. They're going to kill them. They're going to kill them. All right. Denver, San Diego. Denver is, I see 12.5s and 13s, 37.5 total. San Diego, the running back's not playing. Herbert's out. Harbaugh's just giving up, which is a bad sign. Look for San Diego to lose in the first round of the playoff next week. You can't do this. You're rushing your guys so they don't get hurt. Like this week's going to help, but the loss mentally is far more damaging than this. So Denver in a must-win game for the 1 seed. They'll be playing the same time as New England. Boy, they really changed this lineup around. Denver with the good defense. San Diego's got a 17 defense, but I doubt half of them will play because they don't want to get hurt. They're all scared. They're all going to go play tennis now. It's Denver with the 23, Bo Nix, and they're going with Trey Lance, who looked good in the preseason against the Lions, but not in the real game. Look for Denver big here. I think this is the one game they're going to explode. KC, Oakland, who the hell knows? KC 5.5, 36.5. Oakland wanting to lose to get the 1 seed. I mean, have you ever seen this in football? Especially the Oakland KC rivalry with Hank and Lenny, they would never just fold up like this. KC starting Ola Dukin against Pickett and or Aiden O'Connell. Oakland's absolutely given up. 29 defense. You have no Crosby. You have no Bowers. Yeah, I mean, the problem is KC's laying 5.5 with Oladukin. So I don't know what this tells you. I mean, do you bet the game under with Pickens and O'Connell and O'Doulin? Maybe. It's 36.5. Are you going to get to probably going to be like 10-7? I think the teams will just go through the motions and run the ball, run the clock, and try to get out of there. So I think this is an under game. I can't take KC with Oladukin. Oakland might accidentally win. Pickett will get hot. I mean, what do you tell Pickett? Don't complete any passes? I mean, I've never seen this before in football. LA and Arizona. Arizona is LA is 8.5, 46.5. We got Arizona, a Z team, 34 defense. As we saw, Marvin Harrison out, Budda Baker probably out. I can't imagine him playing. And Brissett, who sucks. LA, an over team with a 29 defense, and Stafford. You're not going to give up 29 to Brissett in Arizona. The Rams, off of 2 losses, are pretty pissed off, and they're playing to win. Unlike San Diego playing to lose, the Rams are actually playing to win. So look for a big win by the Rams off of this loss last week to Atlanta, in which Stafford played terrible. And I told you about that with Joe Burrow. He played like shit against Baltimore because it was like 10 degrees out. And I told you then the next week he's going to be on fire because people like Burrow get mad when they play bad. And he lit up Miami with 45 points. And Stafford's going to do the same thing, lighting up this terrible Arizona defense. Again, the key is Arizona with the 34 defense. Big day for Stafford. Dolphins in New England. We've got New England 11.5, 45.5. Miami an under team with a 23 defense, and they're going with Quentin Ewers. Now, how Tampa? This is where I'm like confused. Tampa made Ewers look good. They didn't blitz him. Tampa's got the stupidest coach and defensive coordinator. You just blitz these young guys. You don't play a zone. And oh my God, New England, A team with the 21 defense. Drake May's looking good. Play against Miami as a road dog, 10-2. Play New England this year, 15-1. 5-1 is a home favorite. All New England, they need it for the 1 seed. They'll blow them out, especially against Ewers. Washington, Philly. Why this game's on at 4:30, I don't know. Philadelphia is 4-39 again. I don't know. Hurts isn't playing. I think it's Keegan or something. I don't know. It's not memorable enough to remember. Washington, a Z team, 28 defense, and John Johnson, who's terrible. Philadelphia, an under team anyway with the 21 defense, and Keegan. They're 30-7 overall. Philadelphia play against them this year, 14-2. None of that comes into play here. We've got I can't imagine Barkley playing much. They don't have Gainwell. He's now on Pittsburgh, so I don't know who their backup is. This game will be under 39. I doubt anybody will score more than 10 points in this game. This is just going to be all the starters will be out for Philly. Washington, you don't have Mariota anyway. You don't have Daniels. And it'll just be, let's watch Philadelphia move up and down on the Z defense. And what are you going to do? So this game should be very low scoring. I'm not going to take Philly with Keegan. It's hard to play them. They don't care. When a team doesn't really show up to win, you can't bet on them. And our last game is Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Baltimore is now 3.5. I'm just going to leave it at 4. And 41.5. And again, you do have Lamar against Rodgers. You do have TJ Watt playing. He's going to play. And Baltimore's an E team with the 22 defense. They're much better with Huntley. And Pittsburgh's an under team with the 20 defense. Pitt doesn't score. Now, without DK Metcalf, you do have rain in this game and cold weather. Let's look at the weather. All right, weather here has been cold. Okay, weather, first quarter. Well, no wind. The wind died. It's 25 with no wind. 24 and no wind. 23 and no wind. And 23 and no wind. This is unusual because it was really cold and now it's 24, 25. The weather won't be a factor. Obviously, no wind is a factor. I think you got, just like you're taking the Niners as a home dog, I think you got to take Pitt as a home dog. They'll figure out what to do about DK Metcalf. How much do you look at the Cleveland game and think it's going to translate to this game? Well, that was at Cleveland. They should have won. They should have played to win because now they got to beat Baltimore. But as we know, Lamar chokes. Oh, it's a big game. I gotta throw 3 picks. TJ Watt will be there. Now, Baltimore and Pitt. Pitt knows how to play him because they see him twice a year. I think 3 times last year. The game's in Pitt. They're going to run Henry, but they got TJ Watt back. I don't know. I think Pitt's a live dog, but DK Metcalf. So you're a little bit apprehensive there. I can't bet Baltimore because I can't bet on Lamar. That leaves me with over or under. And I'm kind of confused on this because I liked it under, but then the weather got better. So I thought it was going to be like 5 degrees there. That's an under weather. The cold is the weather, not the rain. But I think over with, I think Aaron Rodgers will find, it's 41. We go over 35 or we go under 47. Well, so here's where you got to pick the score. What do we think the score is going to be? Well, I say somewhere in the 20s. It's Aaron Rodgers. He'll figure out some scores. Henry will get some scores. They played a 49 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago with DK Metcalf playing. They won 27-22. So Pitt will score. Baltimore will get into the 20s. We only need 35. That's very low. Let's see, what did I put it in there? Yeah, it's 35, is it? So I think that's 35, I think is too low. That's 20-17. I'm sure Baltimore is going to get in the 20s here. Pittsburgh with the 20 defense, Baltimore at the 22. Not a Houston type of defense. Baltimore will score. They'll get their 20, which means we need 14 from Pittsburgh, which Aaron Rodgers, he will get you points. So I think that's what you got here. I think you can take Pitt plus the 10, but if you're scared because DK Metcalf's not playing, which is a valid thing, then I think it's of the 2 totals, I think I'm going over 35, only because it's so low. It's 41. Okay. They have other receivers in Freiermuth and the running backs on Pittsburgh. So, yeah, we would prefer DK Metcalf, and I think the fans should be thrown in jail for harassment. But that's okay. But we got to do what we deal with, and that's this one here. So, anyway, that's the football today. Real quickly, in college, we have Miami 3.5, 51.5 to Ole Miss. And we've got Indy 47.5 to Oregon. Good luck beating that Miami defense. Chambliss ain't going to do shit against them. And Indiana, I think, beats Oregon. They already beat them at Oregon 30-20, and they've got the better coach, the better quarterback, the better defense. And that's the three things you want. At this point, it's who has the better defense. So I think Miami-Indy will be the final game. And it'll be a good one. I'll bet it under, I'm sure. But that's what you look. Ole Miss beating Georgia. Georgia got out coached. Just stupidity. I mean, they let the quarterback scramble around. Like, dudes, blitz. You're Georgia. You blitz. That's how you won all your titles. You blitzed. They didn't blitz. Kirby's stupid. It used to be Pat Dye used to be Pat stupid. So we'll have Kirby stupid. The only problem squeezing lemons into your water, you get the lemon seeds. So that's it. We'll talk more about that probably Monday. So that's what you had. So focusing on Carolina, Tampa, I think Baker's injured. You do have the receivers, Evans and Godwin back. They have the experience. I really wouldn't bet against Tampa here, but it's hard to bet on them, Baker. So I think the total play is the play. And Seattle 2.5. Now they got a dangerous defense. Their weak point is Darnold. Mr. Choke last year against the Lions and then against the Rams. And here he is again with a prime opportunity to choke. I would not bet Sam Darnold as a road favorite. Sorry. They've had a good year, but at the end of the day, he just doesn't know how to win. And, he can beat the lesser teams. I mean, they struggled against, the Rams was the 38-37 game. He didn't do anything there. He won on an incomplete pass that stumbled into the end zone, and the guy picked it up, and they're trying to give the guy, it's a 2-point conversion because it was a backward pass, so it turned into a fumble of bullshit. It was an incomplete pass. You can't reward an incomplete pass with 2 points. Bullshit. Again, the incredibly stupid refs in the NFL, or the stupid rule, whatever you want to call it. It was not a backward pass. It was a sideways pass at best. Anyway, so that's it. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Niners won. I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle wins. Tease the dog. It's the best advice I can give you, or go total. And I've went total on the game. And then we'll see. So tomorrow, Houston, Indy. Houston needs the game. Tennessee, Jacksonville. Jacksonville needs the game. Miami, New England. Looking for the 1 seed. San Diego, Denver looking for the 1 seed. And then Baltimore, Pittsburgh. Whoever wins the division. So those are your must wins. Teams like Cincinnati, teams like the Rams, Chicago are just on rolls and are playing very weak opponents. Buffalo, the Jets suck. Look for Buffalo there. And I think that's it. So have a good day. Now, with this whole BRICS thing and this whole gold and silver bullshit, all I can say is silver price is so far undervalued. It's a joke. It's $1,000 for silver. And it's amazing people don't get it. They can't see it. They can't think like us. If you have a very strong demand, which you do, and very limited supply, why is the price $70 and why wouldn't it go to $1,000? The demand's not going to stop. The supply is nothing. So the governments are all out. So now they're bailing out the banks. What is that? And then you're bailing out the banks, number one. And then number two, you've got all these physical markets popping into play, and people need the silver. So people will not keep playing the stupid comex paper bullshit game. Now, I know JP Morgan's mafia is running it, and who knows what they're forcing, but they run the government. So don't be naive. JP Morgan's mafia runs the government. That's why they never go to jail, because they're the ones, will pay this small penalty. He was with Madoff. Madoff called him the week he was going to go to the FBI and said, "You better get your money out now." J.P. Morgan knew what was going on, as did the SEC. So it's funny when you kind of go whistleblow to the SEC, like that one guy, Mark Chapolin or whatever, goes to the SEC to report on Madoff. They're in on the scam, idiot. You showed them 5, 6, 7 times. They're in on the scam. What part of that can you not understand? And that's critical thinking. Critical thinking says, what's wrong with this picture? The Titanic's filling with water. I think it's going to sink. Let's get the fuck off. The dollar's collapsing. I think it's going to sink. Let's get into the lifeboat. And in this world, here's your lifeboat. And so they keep trying to hide it. They don't say, the Fed's this and the comex broke and it's just profit taking and silver, it's just profit taking. That's why it went down. No, it's not why it went down. Never profit take your gold and silver. You can trade it for another asset, or if you have a bill to pay where you're just selling an ounce to get money to pay your bill or whatever, that's fine. But you're not trying to profit take this. This is not profit taking. Gold and silver are far different than stocks and all the bullshit Ponzi schemes, the real estate trust and what Caesars is doing and all that. They're doing like a resort real estate trust. John C. Yeah, defense is key. I think Houston might do well in the playoffs. Well, they should. Their problem is CJ Stroud. So it's the team with the best defense and the best quarterback, which is probably the Rams, I think, are the best complete team. And Denver has a very strong defense in both. That's why I say those two, probably. With Lamar starting, I give Pitt a very good chance of pulling it out late. Yeah, exactly. Well, Lamar, how many how many turnovers will he have today? 2, 3? And, he keeps getting hurt, which is a bunch of bullshit. He's just not a very good football IQ. He just doesn't know. He can't read. He can't, he wants to run. Now he doesn't want to run. And if you notice, he shot puts the ball. So I just like Pitt. You got Aaron. I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers over Lamar 100% of the time. Yes, it hurts they don't have DK Metcalf, but they know they don't have DK Metcalf. It's not like he got hurt in the second quarter. Oh, what do we do? So they're working on plays with the tight ends and the running backs. So they'll play two tight ends and the other receiver and the running backs, and they'll just play. They just beat Baltimore. They know how to beat them. So it's not like they're scared of them, and they play them twice a year. So yeah, I look for Pitt to keep this will be 23-20, kick a field goal at the end or something like that. That would be my guess. Baltimore's not coming in and blowing out Pitt. No. You're not fucking Aaron Rodgers and the coach, whose name escapes me now. I can see him, but I can't name him. I think too fast, so I might something, and then I see him, but I can't. I don't know his name, but I've heard it 1,000 times. But I think he's a very good coach, and I think at home you're not blowing them out. So I think that the prudent thing would be taking Pitt as the dog, and I took the over because it's 35 fucking points, and they'll do that. They'll get 35. I took them over last week. It was a game. Same thing. I think it was Buffalo playing somebody, Buffalo Philly, I think, and I went over in that game, and it was easy. I had it at halftime. When you get these low spreads down to 40, 41, and all you need is 35, this is the pros. This isn't college. Yeah, especially Philadelphia or no, that's the one I lost, Buffalo, Philly. I had the other one, I think it was Baltimore or something, but I had the over by halftime. I had the over in the Bears 49ers game at halftime. I love betting those overs. Anyway, so keep in mind, you want to buy the gold and silver. You want to make your own opinion. I'm giving you the understanding and the concepts. So now you go, this is why I buy gold and silver. And you can talk to your friends and family and other people. And you're going to get kind of looks that like you're an idiot. but you're not. You're the smartest guy in the room. They're the idiots because they're not investigating why, but most people don't ask those questions. Most people are idiots, and all they do is go, oh, okay, I'm an idiot and I can't think. See, we critically thought, we just critically thought 16 NFL games and gold and silver. And that's the point. This is all problem solving. I'm looking at Baltimore, Pittsburgh. I'm problem solving the game. That's why I can bet 7, 8, 9 games a week and go 75% because I'm just going game by game. Is that who's got the better defense? Who's got the better quarterback? What's the over-under on the game? And between the over-under and the spread, I can easily find one of the ways. There's 4 ways to win. I can find one of them in almost every game. So it's not really a problem. Anyway, I think I'm gonna go get Alyssa. She's driving me nuts. Anyway, so that's it. www.teaserking.com. I got 2 locks going today. If I post next week's college playoff as a pick, if I put Miami and I put Indiana or whoever over under, if I put it out there today, it is for next week, but I want you to bet it now because we got the line and I want to get it before the line moves. And that's what I did last week. So just understand that if you're one of my customers, that I'm putting the games out today for next week. So you bet them now for next week if you want to. And that's what I did. So then I transferred it over. But once I do that, I delete it from this week and I put it on next week because that's where it fits. So just in case. Otherwise, just go buy your gold and silver. Do not pay any attention to the gold, to the comex. It's paper options and derivatives. It's a mess. The banks are all going to collapse. And all we can say is, yeah, go fuck off. We have this. So go fuck off. And that's it. We're 5 steps ahead of the game. We make the Joker look like a high school guy. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Good luck. Again, these games are actually on TV. Hard to believe. And I think 3:30 at night. So I think that there's a night game, and I think it's 5:00 and 8:30. So I'm going to go hit the pool shortly. I'm going to be at Alyssa, drop her off, and hit the pool. So have a good day, everybody. All right. www.teaserking.com. Email me if you need me. And thanks for stopping by. We didn't lose the internet connection, amazing enough. And I don't know when that happens. But anyway, thanks a lot. And this is why I do it live. I like the questions and comments. And, just it's fine. I'm here to help. And, be careful with this Mr. Fuji AI guy who's on every fucking channel. I mean, this guy here. I mean, I don't know what to think of him because he's AI. He's not real. I don't know if it's an opinion or he's just reading shit off. He doesn't really seem to know what inflation is. Silver war with China is escalating. What the fuck's he talking about? There's no silver war with China. China's got all the silver. See, this is the part he misses. China's already got 50,000 tons of silver. Russia with 30,000 tons of silver. There's no silver war. What's he talking about? We don't have any because we're idiots. China and Russia and BRICS do. That's it. That's it. You don't need a video of 14 minutes to sit there and talk and not explain anything you're talking about. He just reads off AI shit, which I hate.
Sovereignty story.
Shut the fuck up. Then he does these other ones. Silver trap. Well, what is this video? What's silver trap? What does that mean? I hate these titles. He's very you have no idea what's about to hit silver in the next 14 days. What the fuck does that mean? Very misleading, like he knows it. I hate these videos. And then let's look at it. He's on 5 or 6 different channels. And then he does shit like this. What kind of fucking no silver left for 2026 production? No silver, a leaked memo. How the fuck are you getting this? And no silver left for 2020. What's he talking about? They'll dig silver out of the ground or they'll buy it from China or Russia. These are the ones I hate. When you're looking like this, then you're just doing it for the clicks. It's not informative. It's not accurate. And go fuck off. I don't want my students listening to this shit. And I don't want to listen to it. I listen a little, but the more I listen, I'm like, well, he's not putting in any facts or any like I do, right? And he can't judge anything, so it's really frustrating because the guy's a fucking idiot. If he's even real, he's not even real. He's AI, and he's Asian, and yet he sounds American or English. So I don't know what he is. I think he's AI, and I hate AI. All right, with that, I will leave you. Good luck tonight. At least the games are on TV. www.teaserking.com. Have a good day and go buy your gold and silver. All right, buy as much as you can. All right, take care. It's going $1,000 silver and $10,000 gold. Not a problem.